Hi guys, Ann here, and today we have another little table talk. So I don't know why I keep doing that. I have a beauty channel, Just Ann, and I'll leave that down below. I do like unboxings and some get readies with me and stuff like that. And I always start my video like I just got done doing my Ipsy glam bag, right? And so for some reason I go, okay, it's like I always do that. I've been doing that for a couple months now, and I don't know where that came from or what. How did I even start doing it? But it's like I always have to do something with my hands. It's very weird. Get your mind out of the gutter, okay? But I haven't filmed in a few days, almost a week, I think. I think the last time was when I did the car vlog and we went grocery shopping and everything. It was like a two-part vlog. So let's start because I got a lot to tell you. So my arm, I don't think it's a tear. I was supposed to go to the orthopedic doctor yesterday, which was Thursday. Today is Friday when I'm filming. It's about it's 3:30 right now. So I don't know if I'll be able to edit and get it up or not. I'm going to try my hardest to get it up tonight. And I had to, who's calling me? Hold on. So I was supposed to go to the orthopedic doctor yesterday, but something happened that I couldn't get there, so I had to reschedule it for next week. I just don't think that it's a tear. I really don't. I can move it now to here. If I go any higher, I can feel that pain coming. I can move it to the side here. I just can't move it any higher, you know. So I don't know. I know I definitely have the tendonitis. You know, remember I told you they seen the calcium. I think it was just my muscles was just really inflamed, and I had the tendonitis. It was my tendons and the muscle. Because remember I was saying for a couple weeks, even here, my biceps, like it was a constant throbbing. It never ever stopped. I mean, I wake up, it was in pain. To the time I went to bed, it was in pain. I couldn't even sleep. I had to sleep with my pillows, literally, like this is my bed, and I had my pillows up. So let's say my feet is out, you know, like I had to sleep like this. I'm a side sleeper, so I couldn't, and I love sleeping on my right side. I couldn't do that. If I slept on my left side, then it started hurting. My neck, it was like the back of my neck, my shoulder, my collarbone here, and then sometimes the pain would go down to my wrist. Now I don't have any pain unless I move it a certain way, or I pick something heavy up that's too heavy, you know, so it's not completely healed, but it's like 90% better. So I don't know why they said, you know, a tear, but like I said, I'll find out more at the orthopedic doctor. But now, since it's not hurting as much, okay, I feel my ankle. Now, right underneath my ankle bone on the right, remember I sprained my ankle, like, so here's your feet's like this, your toes, right? And your legs are like this. Here's your feet. My foot went in like this. And so the ankle bone, and then right under my ankle bone, I have this huge knot. It's like a lump, and it's very hard. So it looks like I have two ankle bones. It doesn't hurt unless you touch it, then it hurts. Or if like right now I don't feel it, but if I start walking, going up and down the steps, I can feel it, you know. So I definitely am going to go to the orthopedic doctor, especially for my my ankle, because I'm really worried about that. I know I did something to it. This, I just think I overworked it, you know. It's hard. You know, I'm 48. I'm almost 50. I don't feel like that in my mind, right? And so I'm not 30 anymore, in my 20s, and I still try to do that type of work, like outside for 6 hours and all of that. And for my age, I am pretty strong, you know, with my arms and stuff. So I pick up a lot of things. Like I could pick 50 pounds up easy with one arm and stuff. And I just overdo it. I have to remember that I'm getting old. My body's getting older. We can't do the things we did when we were in our 20s and 30s, you know? It's okay to do yard work, but do yard work for like an hour, you know? Not 5-6 hours. Now, I take breaks in between and stuff. You know, I'm not steady working for that long. But I have to learn that, you know? When your mind still feels young, you know, you forget. And how I learn, because I'm hard-headed, I learn by pain. Pain is how I learn, right? So this taught me, people could tell me all the time, okay, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, whatever. But when I have pain, that's how I learn. I'm very hard-headed, and I learn my lesson, trust me, okay? So that's where I'm at with that. Really quickly, let me turn this light off here because Aura's laying right there, and I don't want, it's going to start getting hot for her, so hold the phone. Can you see the difference when I don't have the light on, how dark it gets? It gets dark, don't it? But that's okay. Let me turn this one off too. I am going to, when I first, see, I used to use backdrops, right? Because I have a beauty channel that I had for 7 years. It's like an unboxing beauty channel, right? And I used to always use backdrops, okay? So when I lived in the other house, if you go back to the Just Ann channel, go back and hit oldest videos, I used to film in my dining room. And the kitchen was right behind me, and you can see. And so, like, on top of the refrigerator and stuff, because the kitchen was very small, you know, I would have the cereal. You know, the kids were young. When I started YouTube, Isaiah was 12. He just turned 20, you know? So, like, Lexi was 16. I think Tyler was like 21, right? And so, you know, they ate the cereal and all that type of stuff. And people would, like, look at my cereal boxes and tell me, like, what cereal. And I you shouldn't be in that cereal if you're diabetic. And I'm like, I have a 12-year-old son. I mean, you know, like, they eat cereal and different things, like, on the weekends and different things. Like, you know, and when it came to that, and I had to, like, when I start filming, like, because I used to keep pictures and stuff in the refrigerator. And I had to take them down, you know. And I'm like, you know what? When you can see way behind what's on top of my refrigerator, if you're looking that hard, you know, so I start using backdrops. And then I just got used to using backdrops, you know. And then I started with every season. Christmas, I had to get a Christmas backdrop, you know, Thanksgiving, if it's fall, summer. I mean, it was crazy. And so when I moved here, so this is my bedroom, it's also my filming room, and it's also where I store my makeup. See, at the other place, I had my own filming room with my makeup, you know. So I was always able to, I went from the dining room into a bedroom. I would just keep the backdrop up, you know, and the setup and everything. Well, here I couldn't do that because I put it like right here because my bed is here. And so you'd have to take it down every time. So I was like, you know what, forget that. I'm going to stop using backdrops. And I went to like a blue. So back here, okay, I'll put a little video in because that's not a wall. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't I just take that off and paint the wall or have it white? That's an open area. I'm in the attic. You know, I've shared this before. This attic was turned into a bedroom many years ago. So it's the old like the wood, and then the framing was like lighter wood. It's back then, that style. And anyway, those are steps right here. Okay, right around here is steps to go down. So that part right there is open. It's just air. It's open. And then like where my dresser is, that's where it's like a wall, and it stops right there. Okay. So that's why like my dressers and stuff are on that wood piece, right? The wall. But that is like open air. And when my grandmother's husband had made this many years ago into a bedroom, he never put ducts in, right? So if you have the air on, like the air doesn't come up, the heat doesn't come up. So I have to have a window air condition right here. When it starts getting cooler out, there's no heat that comes up. So I have one of those fireplaces I plug in as a heater. So I have to have something there. And then I have a sheet that covers the, this covers the, like the doorway, because there's no door right up here. It's just open steps, right? And then I can like pull it open. The only door is downstairs, like when you get to the bottom of the step, you know? See here? It's just open. See, this is the green that I say that you can see, but with the light you can't see. Look how pretty that is. In person it's pretty. And then this right here, this is where the wall ends, and there's a shelf, see? But then this is all open. And then here, this right here is the steps. So I can put this on the banister, but then when I want to close it, so to keep the warmth in or the AC on, and I just do that. Because I still have this there. I just have this pink over here. So, you know, and then I have it Velcroed to the top. And so that's why. And anyway, when I first started not using backdrops, I had the blue, and it was like a dark navy blue, but I really liked it. And when you had the ring light on, like right now, it doesn't show like a shine, but with the blue it did. But it was so dark. I didn't have this light right here. See how much darker it gets? And oh my God, I can't tell you how many people was like, it's so dark. I can't see. I can't see what's behind you. And, you know, this is, I'm talking about on my beauty channel. I'm like, well, at least you can see me. So then I changed it. I got lights and I changed it to the purple, like pink purple, because that's my grandmother's favorite color. But I think I'm definitely going back to the blue. I really like the blue, and, you know, I'll change it up and all that type of stuff. But I think I'm definitely going to do that. Or, because I think when it's darker in the background, you can see me better. Or maybe I'll just keep this and then just keep the lights off. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, you know. I don't know. That is that. Why did I even get talking about that? I have no idea. Okay, so the next update, let's talk about Target guy. So just in case you don't know, so I met a guy. He was shopping at Target as I was. He asked for my phone number, but I got his number instead. And it took me, what, almost a week before I text him. And then I think what was the last thing I told you? That, like, he had, when I texted him, he was at work. And then when he got home, he, like, called me. And I didn't answer because it's like I wasn't ready yet to talk on the phone. You know what I mean? And, anyway, and then I hurt my arm. And when I was in so much pain, I don't want to talk to anybody, you know, especially somebody new if I get a little cranky or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I told him I hurt my shoulder, and we're talking here and there. I haven't got to the point where I'm talking to him on the phone, but he did ask me. He was like, well, let's just go out to eat, you know. He was like, you know, I'm not going to kill you and put you in my trunk or anything like that. He was like, we'll go out public, you know. He was like, you could just meet me there. So I guess that's what we're going to do. I don't know when yet, because like I said, my arm's now just starting to feel a little bit better, where I don't have that constant pain, unless I raise it higher than that, you know. So I'm feeling better. I was able to clean the house because almost a month. I mean, I was cleaning, but not like deep cleaning. I organized my room. So I'm feeling good. So I guess this weekend we're going to meet up. I don't know where. And so that's that. He seems very, very nice. He's not somebody I would typically date. But, I mean, he's good looking. I only seen him the one time. I mean, he's not ugly or anything like that. He's just different than what I would normally date. And he's also a correction officer. You guys know. I used to get in trouble, you know, back in the day in the 90s and stuff, you know. But I did tell him, I finally told him, we got talking. Like, it's just text, like really not on the phone yet. But I really want to start talking to him on the phone before we actually go out somewhere. I don't know. I think I'm just nervous to start over. I don't know. I'm not saying, like, listen, I don't want to get into a relationship right away. Like, I told him that, you know. Now, he's been divorced for like 2 years. I think he said, yeah, like 2 years. He has 2 kids. They're older. The youngest one is, I think, 17. It's a girl. He's got a son that's a little older. And I just don't, like I said, because when I met my husband, we jumped right into a relationship. A couple months in the relationship, he moved in, you know, and we got married 9 months into the relationship. We got married on 12/12/12. We met February of 2012. It was just too soon. And I don't want this because I just want a friend. Like I told him, I'm just looking for a friend right now. And I said, and if something happens and it turns out more than that, then fine. And he's the same way. He's looking for a friend. He doesn't want a relationship or anything like that, you know. And I just told him, I said, listen, if you're talking to somebody else or interested, just let me know, you know. But he's not. So that's how that is, you know. We're just both taking it slow. He's very cautious as well. So, but it's nice to talk to somebody. Well, like I said, we haven't physically talked on the phone, but at least texting. That seems like they have their stuff together. You know, I don't know what was wrong. Well, I know. I think so. Let's go back. When I got pregnant at the age of 18, I had my son when I was 19. And we were only in a relationship for like 4 or 5 months. And when I got pregnant, and like I was living with him and everything else. I mean, that's way too soon to have a kid, only a couple months. Like I always say, you're always on your best behavior in the very beginning, And, he cheated. He was very abusive and different things like that. And I finally left him alone when Tyler was 3 years old. And then it was like maybe a couple months later, I ran into Lexi's father, which I knew since high school. I knew. And we were talking and we start going out, and then we as a friend, and then we start, I used to drink. I was an alcoholic, and when you had sex, and before you know it, a couple months in a relationship, I got pregnant again, right? And Lexi was about 11 months old when that we stopped talking. And then I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship, and I wasn't talking to anybody or even having sex to Isaiah's dad. And so that was like 4 years. And that I knew him from work, and he came down my way. He had to pay a fine or something like that. There was a reason. I forget why he came down. He also had his family that lived down this way, because he normally lived like 45 minutes away. I used to work at Sony Music, and they're not open anymore. And again, I was drinking. And, let's keep it real. He was drinking, I was drinking, and we had sex. That night, he stayed, and then he left in the morning, and I got pregnant. Like a one-night stand, really. And I knew 100% it was his, because I didn't have sex in 4 years, I knew. And, we get a blood test. I knew it was his, right? But I was like, damn. Now I have 3 kids by 3 different men, 2 of them I was in relationships with for a number of years, right? Because Lexi and Isaiah are 5 years apart. But then 4 years later, I get pregnant on a one-night stand, which I'm glad. Isaiah was a blessing. Anyway, he never wanted anything to do with Isaiah. I mean, it was a one-night stand, what have you, Then, he quit the job, That's just another thing. And so I was like, I didn't even want to have sex. I'm like, never. I know there's a such thing as condoms and protection. I get that. But I was very drunk and everything. And whatever the case may be. I'm glad Isaiah is here. But I didn't talk to anybody or anything until I met my ex-husband. And Isaiah was 5, almost 6. So then 5 years go by. I didn't talk to anybody, sex with anyone, anything. In all that time. So even though I have 3 kids by 3 different men, I haven't been with a lot of men. That's just the truth. He just seemed, and I knew him from high school, but and I was living in the projects, and he just seemed like a nice person. He was very into, he knew the Bible, and, he seemed like he was into church, and he was going to school, and he was doing different jobs, to make money. And I thought, oh, finally, this is somebody that wants to do something in their life, that has goals and everything. And, he used to come over all the time, but I never asked him to move in. He just started moving in. And I didn't have a problem with it either, but I didn't ask him to move in, And everything just went fast. I should have had him wait. He should have got to know my kids. I wish I would have had him have a relationship with my kids and all of that first, but it didn't happen. And that marriage, I was with him for 12 years. And, we just got divorced this past January. It was final. And we were separated a couple times. He has cheated on me. I've never cheated on him or anything like that. Now, he never put his hands on me. He never called me out of my name or anything like that. But he wasn't good to me. He didn't want to pay bills, and he just lied a lot. I found out just a lot of things he lied about. I believe now he just used me. He thought maybe I had more than what I had. He wanted a place to stay and what have you. And then he tried to run everything. And it's like, look, dude, you moved in with me. It's different if we all got a house together or I moved in with him, but you're moving into our life, me and my kids. This is our home. But right away, he wanted to bring stuff over there, like furniture and all this. And I already had my house decorated, you know. He wanted to, just a lot of things that, you know, he wanted to be up here, you know. He believed like, it's the husband, the wife, the children, and then like your parents, and then your friends. And I am me, then my children, then my husband, right? That's just how I am. And he was very jealous of my kids, and he never had a relationship with my kids, but yet he wanted to be the father figure. Now, they never called him dad. I would never allow that. They have fathers, but like, he never asked that. But he wanted to be in control and run things. And so it happened very quickly. And as soon as we got married, he even told me, he was like, well, I have to be husband. Let's say his name is Billy. His name is not Billy. But he was like, I have to be husband Billy, not Billy. And I'm like, what? Well, I married you for Billy. Like, every time I got into an argument, the first thing is, let's get an annulment. Let's get this marriage an annulment. And I never, because I was 35 when I got married, you know, and I wanted that marriage to work. And it's like, well, we just had an argument or disagreement. Why get a divorce? Well, now I realize he never loved me. That was an excuse because he wanted, you know, I get that now. So I think that's why I'm scared. I don't want to rush into things because I'm really mad at myself for, I should have thought more about my children at that time, you know, and so I'm just scared of rushing into things, and I want to be friends with somebody for a while, and I think that's what makes the best relationships, or even if it's a marriage or a relationship, when you're friends first, you know. I mean, we never did things together. It was like when we're home, it was married life. When he was out, he was single life. He never shared me in any of his social media pages ever. You know, and those were signs, right? But I guess love is blind. I don't know. And you guys know I always introduced you to my YouTube channel. I would put them on my Instagram, all of that stuff. You know, I wasn't embarrassed of him or tried to hide him. I was happy that he was my husband, but I wanted a husband and wife and a family. You know, like if his kids had like, something to do that we had to go see, he wanted to drive his car and I would drive my car. And I was like, why aren't we going together? It was very weird. And I should have just seen the patterns and the signs. And that this marriage should have been gone a long time ago. So I'm glad it's over, you know. But so I'm just scared. That's what it is. I just want to take things slow. But I also don't want to push anybody away that's good, you know, or that God is bringing to my life. Does that make sense? So that's where I'm at. So I'll probably like physically call him so we can talk. And then maybe next weekend I'll get together with him or something. But definitely this month we'll definitely go somewhere in public, you know. And that way, that's when you can really see if there's a chemistry or a friendship. Even if nothing goes further, I just meet a friend. You know what I mean? So that's all that is. So that's the update on him. And yeah, that's everything. Other than that, I really haven't been doing anything but complaining to everybody how much pain I was in. But like I said, I'm feeling better. I organized my room. I cleaned downstairs. I cooked dinner last night. It was just spaghetti because that was easy to cook, you know, and fast. But yeah, that's everything. I think I'm going to make some cheeseburgers tonight on the grill. I don't know what else to say. You know, like I look on YouTube, it's the same old things, people arguing. I mean, I'm glad I'm not in the drama no more, you know, but it's just, you know, the same old thing. Oh, what about that shooting? Oh my God, that happened in Georgia. That is terrible. That is terrible. He was 14, a baby. Oh my God. When I think of 14, it's just, I think like of my kids. They're just innocent. They're babies, right? And I hear they arrested the father. I'm not sure if it was the father's gun or what have you. Or I think the father bought it for Christmas or something like that. I think they were going to arrest the mother for something that happened in 2023. And how do you guys feel about that? I know that Crumley case with the shooter, I know the parents, they got like 10 years in jail or something like that. What do you guys think? Do you think parents should go to jail for something that the child does? Here's where I'm at. I think that the parents should take some responsibility. I always say this, like New Jersey has one of the strictest gun laws. If you get a gun, then you have to modify it. So when you get a gun, of course you have to get the application, they have to run your background and all that type of stuff. You have to pay for the application, you have to buy the permit, you have to do all this stuff. And then, so if you have an AK or a rifle, the magazine, you can only have 10 bullets in it. So you have to get it modified where it just fits 10 bullets. So in other words, if I wanted to do a school shooting, there's only 10 bullets right there. And then I would have to reload and all that type of stuff, right? Just a lot of things. The barrel, whatever it's called, you have to cut it down. It's very, very strict here. We have guns here, okay? I'm a gun person. I think everybody should have a gun, for protection or what have you. But I think if you have kids, you need to keep them locked up. We still keep them locked up, and we're all adults that live here, No 14-year-old. Now, I understand there's people that do farming and all that type of stuff, right? That's different. But I don't think, if you're not farming or hunting, with a parent, I don't think any child should have access to a gun. You should not be buying your child a gun. Why do they need a gun? Why do they need to learn how to use a gun? Why? If they're not doing it for hunting or anything, or for farming or whatever the case may be. She's drinking her water. I'm like, what the heck? But, so I do think they should take some responsibility. Had he not had access to the gun, or I'm not sure if it was his gun or not, then this wouldn't have happened. I also blame the schools. I think, like here, you should have metal detectors. I understand it costs money. And so many people say, well, we don't have the money. It costs too much. You have the money. You just want it in your pocket. Right now, our hospital has a metal detector. So even if you go into the ER, you could be in so much pain or dying. You got to go through that metal detector. And then once you go through it, if you have a pocketbook or something, they look through your pocketbook. And if they could do it at a hospital, they need to do it at these schools now. All the doors should be metal with no glass. Because why? You can shoot the glass and break it and open the door, right? All of that. In our schools, you have to push a button, and it's a camera. They look at you. You have to show ID who you are before they even allow you in. If there was now at this Georgia school, they had police officers that worked there. Great. But if they had a metal detector, I don't know. But chances are maybe it would have went off. You know what I'm saying? I just think schools need it. And it's like, I am so glad my kids are not in school, because I used to stick my nose up at people that homeschool. I said this before, because I think kids need to be socialized, and they need to be around their peers. They need to, because if they're not socialized around other kids their age, when they get older, they suffer from socialization and this and that and anxiety, and they don't want to be out in the public and all that type of stuff. That's just true. But I think if I was raising my kids, I don't know if I would send them to school. You send your kids to school thinking they're safe, and then it's just crazy to me, It's just sad. Do I think that parents should go to jail for 10 years and stuff? No, they're not the ones who did it. But I still feel that a parent, if you're a good parent in your child's life, if they're acting right or not. You know what I mean? If you just know. And I hear he didn't always go to school and different things like that. So there was definitely something going on with his behavior. And so why have him had access to a gun? It's just sad. And I know they're going to try him as an adult, as he should, because he killed 4 people, 2 students and 2 teachers. And he wounded 30 people. Yes, you want to do adult things, then you should be tried as an adult. But then you think then this is where, it's okay. But they even say, At 25 is when your brain fully matures. That's why you can't. They say don't smoke weed and don't cigarettes and all this. And it's like 14 is so young, but you still know right from wrong. And I think he should be charged as an adult, stay in the detention center in a juvenile until they're 18 or 19, and then go to an adult prison. I don't think 14-year-olds should go to an adult prison. I don't know if that's what happens or what, but too many people would definitely take advantage of them, and, not in a good way. But it's just sad, and I'm praying for everybody. Oh, that's just sad. I couldn't imagine. Even getting a text saying, Mom, they're shooting, I love you. Even if they survive, everything's okay. Just that, oh gosh. And with those poor kids. So I think the 2 kids that were killed were both 14. I mean, they were babies. But what do you guys think of that? Do you think the parents should go to jail too? And if you do, like, how long? Do you think they should get the same sentence? Let me know what you think. All right, I'm going to get off of here because I filmed a few videos for the beauty channel, and Aura, she keeps going to the steps. she's ready to go downstairs. And, but yeah, I went to come on here, tell you I'm feeling better, so that's good. My arm's healing and all that stuff, and let you know I'm still alive. Please thumbs up this video. It really does help me out, or thumbs it down. That helps me out as well. If you could leave a comment. Commenting really does help out with engagement. Even if it's just an emoji, it would mean the absolute world to me. It really does. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, and most importantly, always stay you. Never let somebody take you out of your character. Do as I say, not as I do. Bye. Oh, I caught her. You see, she can jump up. That's the second time I caught her. Usually what she does, she goes to the end of the bed and she puts her paws up like this. And then I have to take her legs and pick her up. I knew. See? That's the second time you did that. I know you could do it. Now I'm saying bye. She wants to put her ass up there. All right. Bye, guys.